Let's be real, budgeting can feel like a nightmare. If you've ever opened an Excel sheet and felt your stress levels skyrocket, you're not alone. The idea of balancing spreadsheets, figuring out formulas, and tracking every cent can be enough to make anyone run for the hills. But the truth is, budgeting doesn't have to be complicated or tedious. In fact, you can start budgeting easily without needing to become an Excel expert. With the right approach, you can take control of your finances and save money without getting bogged down in confusing formulas. In this video, I'll walk you through the easiest way to start budgeting, no Excel required. Let's dive in with 10 simple steps to get your finances in order and make budgeting feel like a breeze. 10. Understand why you need a budget. Before you jump into tracking your expenses, it's important to take a step back and think about why budgeting is so important. The idea of a budget is not about restriction or sacrificing fun. It's all about control. When you budget, you're in the driver's seat. You get to decide where your money goes, whether it's to pay off debt, save for a vacation, or plan for the future. A budget helps you avoid the chaos of overspending and gives you clarity on how much you can actually spend on the things you love without feeling guilty. The key is to have a clear why behind your budget. When you know the reason you're budgeting, whether it's saving for something special or making sure your bills are covered, sticking to the plan becomes easier and much more motivating. Start with a simple app or tool. If Excel makes you break into a cold sweat, no worries. There are tons of easy-to-use budgeting tools that can help you without the hassle. Budgeting apps like Mint, YNAB, you need a budget, or even a simple tool like Google Sheets can take away all the complexity. These apps help you track your spending, categorize expenses, and even set savings goals. Many of them can be linked directly to your bank accounts, so they'll track your income and spending automatically. You don't have to worry about entering everything manually. Simply sign up, link your accounts, and let the app do the heavy lifting. With the right app, budgeting becomes more of a straightforward process, and you don't need to worry about complex Excel sheets. 8. Track your income first. When you start budgeting, the first thing you should track is your income. Knowing exactly how much money you have coming in every month is the foundation of any good budget. This is the amount of money you have to work with before anything else. If you have a regular job with a fixed salary, your income will be easy to calculate. However, if you have a side hustle or receive irregular payments, make sure to track that as well. Get a clear picture of how much money you can count on each month. Once you know how much you're earning, it's much easier to figure out what you can afford to spend and save. 7. List your expenses. Now that you know how much money you have coming in, the next step is to list all your expenses. This doesn't mean you need to track every single purchase, unless you want to, but it's essential to know where your money's going. Start with your fixed expenses. The things that are pretty much the same every month, like rent or mortgage, utilities, insurance, car payments, and subscriptions. Then add in your variable expenses, such as groceries, dining out, entertainment, and transportation. Don't forget things like healthcare or debt payments. For a more accurate picture, you might want to look at your bank and credit card statements from the past few months to get an idea of where your money is really going. 6. Categorize your spending. Once you've listed your expenses, the next step is to categorize them. By grouping your expenses into categories like housing, food, transportation, savings, and entertainment, you'll get a clearer picture of where your money is going. Categorizing your expenses allows you to see patterns and identify areas where you might be overspending. For example, you may realize you're spending more on dining out than you initially thought. By categorizing, you also make it easier to spot places to cut back if you need to save more money or reduce unnecessary spending. 5. Set realistic goals. Budgeting is a lot more motivating when you have clear goals in mind. What are you budgeting for? Maybe you want to save for a new phone, pay off credit card debt, or build an emergency fund. Whatever your goals are, it's essential to write them down and make them specific. For example, instead of just saying save money, set a goal like save $500 by the end of the month. Setting clear, measurable goals will help you stay on track and give you something to aim for as you follow your budget. The more specific you can be about your goals, the easier it will be to adjust your spending and focus on saving. Create a simple spending plan. Now that you know your income, expenses, and goals, it's time to create a simple spending plan. A spending plan is just a breakdown of how you'll allocate your income to cover your expenses and save for your goals. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just divide your income into different categories like rent, groceries, savings, and entertainment. Make sure you prioritize essential expenses first, then allocate a portion to savings, and finally, set aside money for non-essential spending, like fun activities or impulse buys. A basic spending plan doesn't need to be complicated to be effective. The goal is to create balance and ensure that you're not spending more than you're earning. 3. Set up automatic transfers for savings. One of the easiest ways to stick to your budget is to set up automatic transfers to your savings account. This way, you're not tempted to spend the money that you meant to save. By automatically transferring a portion of your income to your savings or emergency fund each payday, you make saving effortless. You can set up transfers to occur as soon as you get paid, so you're paying yourself first before you can spend it on other things. Whether it's $50 a month or $500, automatic transfers will help you stay disciplined and make saving part of your routine. 2. Track your progress regularly. Once your budget is in place, it's important to track your progress regularly. This doesn't mean checking it every day, but make sure you're reviewing it at least once a week. By reviewing your spending, you'll be able to see if you're sticking to your budget or if there are areas where you're overspending. Most budgeting apps will show you where you stand relative to your goals and give you an idea of how well you're managing your money. If you find that you're consistently overspending in one category, you can make adjustments to get back on track. Regular check-ins will help you stay accountable and give you a sense of accomplishment as you move closer to your financial goals. 1. Stay flexible and adjust as needed. One of the most important things to remember about budgeting is that it's not set in stone. Life changes, and your budget should be flexible enough to adjust with it. If you have an unexpected expense, like a medical bill or car repair, you might need to tweak your budget to account for it. Similarly, if you get a raise or pay off a loan, you can adjust your budget to reflect the extra money you have. Being flexible with your budget allows you to stay on top of your finances without feeling restricted. The key is to keep an open mind and make adjustments as needed to stay on track toward your financial goals. And there you have it, a simple and easy way to start budgeting without ever needing to touch an Excel sheet. By following these 10 steps, you'll be on your way to gaining control of your finances, saving money, and reaching your financial goals. Remember, budgeting isn't about being perfect. It's about creating a system that works for you and helps you stay on track. So if you found these tips helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with anyone who might need a budgeting boost, and subscribe for more practical advice on managing your money. Budgeting doesn't have to be hard, and with the right tools, you can make it work for you.